Hello fellow leggers, thank you for joining us. We are inside because the weather is horrendous outside.
Yeah, even though we're here to see One Night in Miami this certainly ain't tonight because it is cats and dogs out there. But we're at the Nottingham Playhouse and we're looking forward to seeing this piece.
So stick around to hear all of our thoughts.
Find out how many stars.
Whether it's break a leg
Or leg it.
Yes, Nottingham is where we are, once again at the Nottingham Playhouse.
And we do get out into the regions from time to time, so if you want to see more of us hitting a town near you, hit subscribe and we'll bring you the latest from London, but also a bit further afield because, yeah, Nottingham,
yes.
There's a lot of people in this area and Nottingham Playhouse are churning out some great stuff at the moment, and tonight is the turn of One Night in Miami.
And Miami, and I think of the mood and the lighting. I love how the lighting
a
is
bit disco,
changing.
a little bit retro.
A bit blue, a bit white, just a bit whoa. Okay, so what do we need to know about One Night in Miami?
Well, it's directed by Matthew Xia. Now, Matt did Blue Orange at the Young Vic, which we saw before we were leggers and was great.
Yep.
He also did Shebeen here at the Nottingham Playhouse last year, which we again really loved. It's hard to, you have to try to not get excited when it comes to someone with a great back catalogue, and I am a little bit excited, I've got to say. As for the story, well, it's 25th of February 1964, and the boxer Cassius Clay, not yet Muhammad Ali, has just been crowned new heavyweight champion of the world and heads to a small motel room in downtown Miami to celebrate, along with activist Malcolm X, American football icon Jim Brown, and soul star Sam Cooke. And we know that all of that is true.
So this actually happened?
But
these people got together on that night?
They did, but what we don't know is what happened behind those closed doors over maybe a bottle of whiskey or two, a couple of tubs of vanilla ice cream, and now it's been dramatised by the playwright Kemp Powers, and it received its UK premiere at the Donmar Warehouse in 2016. But as far as I know, this is its first sort of revival.
It sounds interesting. It seems as if it's got some real interesting elements as a piece.
Bit of a historical merit, one might say.
Okay.
Now, the cast includes Glean as Cassius Clay, Miles Yenkini as Jim Brown, and Olivier Award winner for his role as Lola in the London production of Kinky Boots, Matt Henry.
Wow.
As Sam. Now, Matt was also a finalist on the second season of The Voice UK, and he was even awarded an MBE in 2017 for his contributions to theatre.
Well done, Matt.
Well done, Matt.
Sounds like a great cast.
Now, typically, this piece is 90 minutes straight through. But tonight, it's 2 hours including the interval, as we've added an interval into this production. So stick around for our 30-second breakdown. We'll be letting you know what you think at that point.
And as usual, fellow leggers, stick around to the end to hear our thoughts and find out how many stars. It's the interval, which means it's time for the break a leggers
30-second interval breakdown. Go, what do you think so far?
I think it's quite interesting, an interesting story to think of these four people who are legends and real leaders in their fields at the time, being all in the same room and being stoked and by Malcolm X to kind of say, we've got to represent our people. So an interesting concept. How about you?
It's just okay for me. I'm not overwhelmed by the text, although there's some beautiful production aspects, and Matt Xia has brought on some people to create a bit of a scene, but is it speaking to me in the text-wise? I'm yet to be overwhelmed.
It's the end. We've come to the
It's
end.
the
It's
end.
quite a zappy piece, isn't it?
I mean, it is a zappy piece, but interestingly enough, this was originally devised, as mentioned at the beginning, as a one-act 90 minutes
straight through.
But
however,
what they found here was people didn't seem to be able to go for 90 to 100 minutes without using the loo. So they put in the interval to stop that from happening, so people can have a drink and use the loo.
I think this isn't anybody have a map discussion about the length of shows. So there's a slight interruption, hence why we had the interval breakdown.
But it came at the right time. I think Matt Xia, the director, has noticed if it's going to happen, it's got to happen here, and it happens at exactly the right time.
However, the piece.
Yes,
so,
the
what
piece.
did you make of the piece?
Well, I mean, a fascinating insight, really. I mean, I know it's a dramatisation, but I don't personally know. I mean, I love to learn something, so I didn't know that these four people were friends. I didn't know what each of their viewpoints were or what they were offering, and I know I know, like I say, this is sort of a fantasized version of events, but it was thoroughly believable for me, for a group of people in that situation with different interests and dynamics, playing off against each other. And the fact that they were talking about religion and race, I think any four people that have opposing viewpoints put into that situation where a few drinks might be involved and difference of opinions, then you're bound to have a bit of a heated discussion. And I
these
liked
ideas
that.
and kind of seeing where these things that we know and legacy things, like we know the legacy of Muhammad Ali now, we know the legacy of Malcolm X, we know what happens to him, the music, the song Change is Coming. Is that the title?
Change Gonna Come.
Is that what it's called?
I
and kind of like
so. I mean,
kind of planting the seeds that potentially this was where that song was first aired, and it's a song we know, but this piece gives it context. So I think there's this is one of those pieces where I want to go and do the research. I want to find out more about those people and that moment in history, and I think that's when theatre is used to its best.
Absolutely.
In this context, I want to know more. I want to go out and learn. I want to Wikipedia it. I want to Google it and find out what's happening.
Yeah.
I
want to talk about it with others.
I really like the concept of this piece, this idea that Malcolm X, as a friend to these people, I don't know if he could see his time coming, see his end coming, so he wanted to inspire others, those friends he had, to do better and to pick up the baton where he was leaving off, that to march forward in that struggle against oppression, to lead the way to equality. And I think that's a really good point. Isn't that what friends do?
Yeah.
They push you out of your comfort zone. They say, no, you can do better.
Yeah.
Friends aren't just always there to go, yeah, it's hard, isn't it? No, they're saying,
because to be a
you've
good
got
friend,
a talent,
you've
you
got
can
to be,
push yourself.
and you've got to be honest as well. And I think that's the thing these four people, guys, had. They were true to themselves, and they were honest to each other, and I think that's important in friendship.
So the content and the concept of the piece I really like.
Great.
So,
moving on to the performances.
Come on then, let's move on to performances.
Okay, guys, I'm just going to get it out there right now. Christopher Cahoon, in the role of Malcolm X, gave the best performance I have possibly ever seen in a male actor. For me, I was completely overwhelmed by his stage presence and the natural ability that he has in order to convey a character of such prominence and of such historical significance as Malcolm X. On the way out, I compared him to Juliet Stevenson, who is captivating from the moment she enters the scene. And he did exactly the same for me. He stole it hands down for me. I mean, he was in the West End transfer of Mary Stuart with Juliet.
Yeah.
He was also nominated for Best Actor in a Musical for The Colour Purple. And, I mean, he's just extremely talented. And I want to fall at the guy's feet. In fact, I'm going to give him a nomination.
A nomination for what?
Best Actor in a Play, Break a Leg 2019, for Chris Cahoon in the role of Malcolm X in One Night in Miami.
Well,
at the
there
Nottingham
you go,
Playhouse.
Leggers. Well,
I just loved it.
I mean, what shoes to fill in terms of Malcolm X, and he is pivotal to this piece in terms of inspiring and pushing each of these characters in a different way, whether towards the world of Islam, in terms of the music that Sam is going through, which we'll come on to in a second, just kind of being the best, and he did that for you.
There are not enough superlatives to explain how much I enjoyed his performance. It wasn't something that I can say, it was something that I felt, and my God, it's worth the entry price alone. Talking about being worth the entry price, Matt Henry in the role of Sam Cooke.
Boy, did they use him to good effect.
I mean,
you need a strong actor, you need a strong vocalist, and he owned the stage. He was so relaxed. Not just he gets moments to sing, boy does he sing in this show. He actually comes out into the audience as well, and as if it's a live concert, and he lit up the house. We were kind of like complete mercy of his skill, but his acting scenes as well. He's just such sass and such ownership of that character.
Yep.
He carried a lot of the laughs as well.
Absolutely.
He did a great job.
Absolutely. He's one
I
of
feel
those
quite
actors,
lucky to see him because I didn't see him in Kinky Boots.
No, and he's one of those actors that is well known for his musical theatre background, but he's demonstrated his presence as a strong actor, just a straight up actor. Even if he hadn't have sang, I would have loved his performance.
Yes, and just the fact that we got to hear him sing as well was was the cherry on top of the cake.
Really was. Connor Glean as Cassius Clay. He's a Mount View grad early on in his career, but I mean, he's off to a great start. Really looked the part. I felt like he was Muhammad Ali.
I thought this was kind of casting genius in a way, because he did. He looked right. He had the physicality. He had that kind of like. He had really nice kind of opening monologue, which was helped by production as well. We'll come on to production, I guess. But that was produced really well, of kind of recreating what happened in the fight with all of that Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay
personality.
magic. Yeah, kind of
that
him
selling
all
it,
the
you
jib
know.
and jab and all that
He knew
stuff.
how to wind up an audience, didn't he? Get
Absolutely.
people riled. Also, I'd like to mention Miles Yankini in the role of Jim Brown. We saw him in Peter and the Starcatcher at the Royal and Derngate, so check out our review for that. But again, he was really great, handsome and believable as a football star, somebody who appreciated his own skill, and I felt that as well in his performance.
Exciting stuff. Do you know, it's kind of cast of 4, supported by 2. These 2 that are kind of staying outside as bodyguards, overseeing what happens, but then they come in and they have real strong characters as well. So as a small cast of 6, it's really well scripted, really well written.
Absolutely. Let's move on to the creative, and I think
Moving fast.
this is where we need to talk about the director. Matt Xia understands how to elevate a piece with strong production, with these genius moments and touches of unexpected production, sort of magic almost.
Creativity.
He's just got such creativity.
Real creativity.
Magic.
How can we lift this but not detract? How can we make it something in terms of the lighting, sound and the music into a production that really did elevate
And
it?
I think what he makes the production is memorable. He makes it, he puts elements in there so you're not going to forget about this. Even if the script wasn't your favourite thing about it, even if, and not in this case, but the performances weren't amazing, you're going to remember my production, you're going to remember Matt Xia's work. It's signature Matt, this, to take something and to make it different, to look at it in a really unique way.
Really nice movement as well within the stage, because you're only in one specific set in a small apartment with a couple of chairs and a bed, and yet they had really nice movement and catching each other at just different set moments. So really nice.
Kane Hubbard's as movement director. Just Matt assembles a great team. Grace Smart as designer. The set was beautiful, perfect for what it was. And also Max Pappenheim on sound. Max did the sound for The Children, which we've got a review of, which went over to
Royal Court.
Went over to Broadway, went over to New York.
Lighting. Have we mentioned lighting?
No, lighting is Kieran Cunningham.
Okay. And I guess kudos really to
Who did Shebeen here as well.
Adam Penford in just having a variety of an offering for a regional theatre.
He's the artistic director here at Nottingham and invites these people in to put on a show here, and he's getting it so right at the moment.
I've loved the variety.
Yeah, and what we were saying otherwise is he's put a diverse story on stage and it's attracted a diverse audience.
Well done.
Bloody hell, guys.
Come on.
Where have we been? Like,
you get it in London and big stuff,
but do you get it
so
out
much
in the sticks in Nottingham? No, but finally you bloody do. So well done. Well done. That's just well bloody done.
I think we're saying well done.
Yeah.
And I guess we're probably moving on to how many stars we are going to give this, please.
So for one might. I've had a
One
lager.
might.
I have.
One might star
One
this
might
show.
say that we're about to give the stars. For one night in Miami at the Nottingham Playhouse, we are going to give 4.
4 stars for this piece.
Yeah, I just had a great time. The interval didn't detract away from me too much from the piece. I was able to forgive it, and I understand why it was there. But Jesus, the production, and my God, the performances.
We have waxed lyrical about all of the good stuff, I guess. So where does it lose that 1 star? I guess you're wondering.
Yeah,
I
would
guess there's
say
a slight
it's in the
deviations
text a
in
little
pace
bit.
and in the text that just draws back a little at times.
Yeah.
But overall, because it's quite a zippy piece, because the performances are so strong, the production is so grand, so big. I love the concept. It elevates it and hangs together, and it's got a good core message.
I think I would have liked more drama in the writing. I just think
that could
you
be a
know,
star
there's
as well.
something in the drama about it for me where I didn't ever feel any risk. If I'd have thought at any moment these guys
What's
are going to
happen
kick
next?
off at each other or something's going to happen, but I didn't. But it's not that sort of a piece. It's more of a simmer than a fast boil. But that's just what I think.
And just what I think.
What do you think? Have you seen this piece? Did you see it at the Donmar? Are you looking forward to anything else coming up at the Nottingham Playhouse? We would love to hear from you because we're the Break-a-Leggers.
And we'll catch you again soon.
Bye.